So when the fluid is flowing, the flow of the fluid can be a laminar or it can be a turbulent. And as we already discussed the difference between the laminar and turbulent flow, the next topic is about the terminal velocity. What is the concept of the terminal velocity? The terminal velocity means when there is no resultant force is acting on the object reaches a constant velocity and we call that as terminal velocity. So how we can find the terminal velocity? So the concept is when no resultant force is acting on the object, the object will move with the constant speed or velocity, and that speed or velocity is known as the terminal velocity. So if an object is moving down, and this expression is derived for spherical object. So what are the possibilities? The possibilities object might be moving down, the object might be moving up. So if object is moving down, the weight acting downward, the upthrust acting upward, and viscous drag will also act upward. If object is moving up, the weight is acting down, the viscous drag is acting down, and the upthrust is acting up. So here we can say the forces which are acting on the object, that is weight, upthrust, drag. Here the forces upthrust, weight, and drag force. So the equation here upward, because no resultant force when object is moving at a terminal speed, no resultant force. Here we can say the viscous drag plus upthrust is equals to weight, or here we can say the weight plus viscous drag is equals to upthrust. So in exam you will find a question in which we have to drive an equation for terminal velocity for an object moving downward. The expression will be the final result will be same for upward as well. So we are doing only for downward, but that it's also same way we will do for upward. So if an object, a spherical object is there moving downward, weight is acting down, upthrust is there, and viscous drag. So we can say that upthrust plus the viscous drag is equals to weight. And we have the formula that upthrust, I will write it on the right hand side, upthrust is equals to density of the fluid, volume of the object, and gravity. So in place of upthrust I can write density of the fluid, volume of object, and gravity, plus the viscous drag. According to Stokes, if a small spherical object is there, the viscous drag is 6 pi eta r and v. So that is 6 pi eta r v. And the weight W is equals to mg, that is mass of object. So weight is equals to mass of object into gravity. Then the mass of the object is equals to density of object and volume of object. So viscous drag, volume of object, gravity, plus 6 pi eta rv, and mass of the object is equals to density of object, volume of object, and gravity. When we move this factor on the right hand side, the density of fluid and volume of object, the upthrust, so we can write that 6 pi eta RV is equals to density of object, volume of object, gravity minus the density of the fluid, volume of object and gravity. Then when we take volume of object common here, so we can say 6 pi eta RV is equals to density of object minus the density of the fluid that we into volume of object and gravity. What about the volume of object? Because it is a spherical object, so it is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So we can say 6 pi eta RV is equals to density of object minus density of fluid, and the volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube into gravity. Now when we simplify this, pi will cancel with pi, r and this cube will cancel, so we are left with r square. Then 2, this will be 3 and this will be 2. And when we solve for the terminal velocity, like for v as a subject, so the final answer terminal velocity will be equal to the difference in the density of volume of object, difference in the density of fluid and object and fluid. Then we are left with 2, so this 2 will be here. Pi's cancel, r square g divided by this 3 is multiplied by 3, so it will be 9, and viscosity is left, so it will be eta. So this is the final formula which we will get for the terminal velocity of an object which is moving downward. So you have to learn or memorize this formula, and this is only valid for spherical objects which are moving at a slower speed and the fluid flow around the object is a laminar flow. If it is a turbulent, then this formula is not valid. So object should be small, the fluid flow should be terminal, and the object should move at a slower speed. Is it clear, this formula, how to calculate the terminal velocity? So you will find in exam that this derivation, you have to derive a formula for the terminal velocity. So you have to practice this derivation. Any question or a doubt related to this derivation? Same way, if an object is moving upward, so weight of the object is acting down, upthrust is acting up, and the viscous drag is opposing the motion. So this object is moving upward. So when we write a formula, we can say upthrust is equals to viscous drag plus weight, because that's there's no resultant force. When we substitute the value, we know upthrust is equals to density of fluid, volume of object, gravity. So density of fluid, volume of object, gravity. Viscous drag 6 pi eta RV. 6 pi eta RV. And the weight, mass of object and gravity. So this will be mass of object and gravity. And mass of object is equals to density of object and volume of object and gravity. That is 6 pi eta RV. And equal to density of a fluid, volume of object, gravity. If we move this on the left hand side, So we can say density of the fluid, volume of object, gravity minus density of object, volume of object and gravity is equals to 6 pi eta r and v. When we take volume of object and gravity constant, so it will be density of a fluid minus density of object volume of object gravity is equals to 6 pi eta r v. Then volume of object, because it's a spherical object, so volume of object is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So density of a fluid minus density of object volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube into gravity, and that is equals to 6 pi eta r and v. And when we simplify this, pi will cancel with pi, r cube will cancel with r, so we are left with square. So this 2 and 3. So when we simplify, the only difference what you will find that the final result, it is density of a fluid minus density of object, or the viscous drag, the terminal velocity is equals to 2, the difference of the density fluid and object, into r square g divided by 9 eta. So it's the same formula, but only difference is the only difference between the two formulas is the difference of the density. Here we are taking a fluid minus object when the object is moving up, and the previous example it was object minus the fluid when it is moving down. So it is always the same formula, only the difference in the density depends on if the object is moving downward, it means object is having high density, so it will be object density minus the fluid. But if it is rising up, then it will be an opposite. Is it clear? Uh, the formula for the terminal velocity. So this is just an example. A spherical meteorite of radius 1 meter, which is made up of pure iron having a density of 7,800. It falls into a Pacific Ocean. What is the final velocity of a meteorite at will move? Suggest the assumption you made. So we calculated the term, because terminal velocity is the maximum velocity which object can attain when it is falling. So the formula is 2r square g, difference in the density, because object is moving down, so it is object minus the fluid divided by 9 eta. When we substitute the values, we can use the viscosity of a water from table. So when we take the difference in the value and of the density and the viscosity, it will come out as 1.48 into 10 power 7 meter per second. So the assumption we made include the temperature. We consider, because when a meteorite is moving, there's a friction and that can cause an increase in temperature, but we assume that the temperature of the fluid is constant. And the ocean is deep enough that meteorite reaches a terminal velocity, but actually from the result we see that the speed is too large, so assumption is not valid, and the speed of the meteorite get very large, the Stokes law does not hold anymore. Like it is about 1.48 into 10 power 7, and the speed of light is 3 exponent 8, so it is closer to, like not very close, but closer to speed of light. That's why practically the Stokes law does not hold for this calculation. Because if the object is moving too fast, then we cannot apply the, so we consider if that the temperature of the ocean is not changing and the object reaches the terminal velocity. So this was about the fluid flow and terminal velocity. Any question related to the class today? So I'll end the session and share this with you. The next session we will do questions related to the fluid.